as long as you keep farming it and it's, it stays as your homestead and you're not selling it off or whatever, that's not gonna raise a red flag to them.
Is it documented somewhere that way, or is this where maybe we should be doing some research on this? I mean, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to be real blunt with you. This rezone, we're not going to let, and Wayne, you know that, I mean, but the rezone is kind of over and above all of this. We have to do this. We have to do the rezone. And I think we're taking a chance that you may get clipped or not as far as, more taxes. Is there a way that the city can back up Mr. Schmidt's contention that he's going to keep it in ag for X number of years, that's not going to be developed, and that we can give him some backup at the county level? Is there any such animal, Mr. Vos?
Change it.
Yeah, change it to agriculture.
Change it back.
Mayor, I think the answer is no. But to underscore your point, the comp plan has been approved both by you and the Met Council, and that preordains the rezoning or the zoning, future zoning of this property. And to undo that would require undoing your comp plan and getting new approval from the Met Council.
Right.
Which I guess theoretically might be possible, but it would be no small undertaking at this point. Absent doing that, the property has to be rezoned.
Right.
I mean, that's by law.
Right. And we're not going to go through, I mean, we'd have determined that we're not going to go through that. I mean, there's,
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Go
So
ahead.
what you're saying is what Tricia told us last at the workshop is all wrong.
Mayor and council member, I wasn't at the workshop, but the comp plan guiding needs to conform to the zoning. The comp plan guiding is superior. I mean, it controls the zoning. And so I don't know what was discussed at the work session, but
well, that's,
property has to be brought into conformance with the comp
We were
plan.
told that if you go from a lesser to a more concentrated zoning, you would need to have an amendment with the Met Council. But if you went the opposite direction to a less concentrated, you wouldn't need to have that amended by the Met Council. Right now, it's zoned agricultural, and what he wants is to remain it to be agricultural. So it's not becoming more concentrated, so it shouldn't need an amendment with the Met Council unless everything that Tricia told us was wrong. So,
Mayor and
Tricia, were you right or
Councilmember, all I
wrong
can-
when you told us
well,
that?
let's Mr. Vos answer.
Yeah,
this,
all I can say about that language similar to that was used by Ms. Rosenfeld at the council meeting that I was at, your last council meeting,
Right.
referring to the supermajority requirement. Because the land was not being rezoned or wasn't proposed to be rezoned in a more intense use, there wasn't a supermajority requirement on the council vote. I don't recall any discussion, though, about comp plan amendments and Met Council involvement or not. I guess I wasn't here for that discussion.
Workshop.
Mr. Mayor and Councilmember
Yep.
Coop, if I'll just clarify, what I did indicate was if there was a increase in the density, it would require a comp plan amendment. If there was a decrease in the density, it would not. Is that correct, Mr. Vos?
That makes sense.
Mayor and council member and staff, I guess I'm not following. If the comp plan re-guided property in a way that didn't increase the density, I guess I'm not following.
An amendment to the comp
An
plan.
amendment to the comp plan. If you increase the density from residential to commercial, that would require a comp plan amendment. If you decrease the density from, say, commercial down to residential, that would not require a comp plan amendment.
Mayor and council member, yes, yeah. I guess the way I think about that issue, we don't think about it the same way. I think about it in terms of, is the zoning consistent with the comp plan guiding or not? The comp plan guiding theoretically is a broader designation. It is a more general designation for land uses. And so there may be several different zoning designations that could fit within a single comp plan guiding designation. If the zoning is going to change from one to another that still fits within the comp plan guiding, then no amendment to the comp plan is required. So it is possible to rezone property in a way that's consistent with the comp plan guiding that doesn't require a change to the comp plan. But I guess my assumption has been, maybe incorrectly, that the comp plan guiding for this property is residential, not agricultural, and so a change from ag zoning to residential is required. That may not be correct, but that's been my understanding of how this is guided.
Then I
Murphy.
am wrong.
Well,
Well,
hold on.
Mr. Mayor, in looking at the legend with our zoning, I guess this is a question, let me look at it, because when you look at it, A-2 is rural residential. So it is, which would be basically ag residential. So with that, could the argument be made that's still within the residential umbrella, so to speak, but it's changing from R3 to A2, which is rural residential?
Is that in the umbrella or in that zone that you're talking about?
Mayor and council members, yeah, I think it is. In other words, I think, David, what you're saying is that ag guiding or ag zoning that we're talking about is actually rural residential, A2. Is that your point?
That is my
Yeah, I mean,
point.
I think if the guiding is residential, then keeping it rural residential is an option. That would fall within the broad umbrella. So, no, Ms. Rosenfeld, you're not wrong. I am. Darn it.
Should I add more confusion to this, or can I make another statement?
No, that's
It's
better,
not
actually.
possible.
No, it all works.
In the future land use map, which is the overall broad zoning that was in the comp plan that was approved, this particular parcel is guided medium to high density residential. If it remains ag, it's not medium density residential. Medium density would be at least two-family. Ag land does not permit two-family. It does allow single, but not two-family. So therefore, it stays ag land. It does not fit with the guided intentions of this property. Whether or not, if it stays ag land, we need a comp plan amendment or not, I guess we need to clarify that and report back.
I think that'd be an excellent idea, Mr. Mayor, and we could class it as a typo and move ahead. The thing that I'm concerned about here is that this little exercise tonight, to me, points